All right, here's our Raptors reporter, Josh Lewenberg from Scotiabank Arena. Josh, big night for Victor Wembanyama, countered by a quiet night for Scottie Barnes in this blowout loss. What did you make, first of all, of just overall Scottie Barnes' game on Monday?
Yeah, I mean, outside of the end of that OKC game a few weeks ago, this is as disengaged as he's been all season. Very quiet in the first half, didn't score, very passive. And then there were a few plays where he'd commit a bad turnover and out of frustration, like not get back on defense. And that's been an ongoing issue throughout the early stages of his career where turnover or maybe it's a foul he disagrees with and he's arguing with the official and he doesn't get back. So listen, you're not going to play great every night. You can't control whether shots go in necessarily, but you can control things like your effort and whether you're leading the right way and setting a good example. And I actually thought he did a great job of those things against Cleveland in the loss to Cleveland a couple nights earlier where, I mean, regardless of what was going on the floor, he was on the bench, standing up when he was out of the game and directing the defense and cheering on his teammates. It was as vocal as I've ever seen him. So as the number one guy, I think that's the biggest thing here is that you can't take nights off. There's nowhere to hide, and he's going to learn that whether he likes it or not.
Well, and he also walks off the bench before the game was over. His coach, not very happy about that post-game. But, Josh, are we making too much of this, or is it an actual issue?
No, I mean, like, listen, there's precedent here in the sense that Pascal Siakam, this was very early in the Tampa season, 2020, I believe, he fouled out of a game and left the bench with about 30 seconds to go, went straight to the locker room, and then they suspended him the following game. The team did. And the message at the time was this was not acceptable behavior for a young leader. It was tough love, so to speak. And it didn't sit especially well with Siakam at the time, but listen, it certainly got his attention. So now we'll see if they take the same tough love approach with Scottie Barnes. And I think they need to for a few reasons. I mean, first of all, I just think it would set a bad example if he didn't. Siakam already thinks that he was treated unfairly at times, and I can tell you there are players that used to play for this team that believe that Barnes has been coddled to some degree early in his NBA career. But I also just think, like, these are important learning moments for Barnes. They didn't trade their vets and give him the keys because they thought he was ready to be the guy as a 22-year-old. That wouldn't be fair. They did all that because they want to get him ready. And this is part of it, is learning through success and learning through failure. And I think it's just as important to point out those learning moments and to learn through failure as it is to celebrate the success. So we'll see how they handle this situation.
Raptors back in action on Wednesday night with Pascal Siakam and the Pacers in town. Josh, thanks for this.